Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Let's go. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Hey, watch Sam. Check, Mike 54, Mike 54.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. He sets to fire deep. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Dolphin football. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
We got 4. We got 4. 57. Monday. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Monday. Check 31. Check 31. Check 40.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if we're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Let's put him on the buses.
Boston Scott, his first carry. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
They looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. On third down, Scott, and he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Let's go now. It's our time. It's our time. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. It's free. Come. Two to Mike by 2. Set, go.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Bring it. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go. 15 runner. Man, I got you.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
On 2nd down, Kamara. He's to the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
Brought down at the 1-yard line. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Let's get that ball, Let's get that ball right here.
It's a quarterback sneak. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
At the Dolphins' 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Here I come.
They'll try to run this one in. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Bridgewater. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. They'll run on 1st down. McKinley, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 6 guys. Check 6.
On 2nd down now, McKinley. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, McKinley. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A give to Kamara running right. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Watch the curl. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check that.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I think I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Switch! Switch! Alert! 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 Hug! 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 36! 36!
On second down, McKinley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
50 seconds to Mike. Here we go.
Here's Rosen to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Watch the screen. Pass. Hey, alert, alert. Mike 51. Mike 51. I got you, punk. Hey, Echo. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
57's Mike. Mike. Alert, alert, alert. 57. Mike, 57. Watch the slap.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And Stills bringing it in. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Switch. Showing it. Check. Crunch.
Name on that. Quarter.
10. Back.
Name on that.
Bang.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9.
Middle. Alert! Hey, we got to get that quarter.
He's coming.
We got to double up.
Kill.
Quarter.
Check play ball.
Hey!
Rosen to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker unable to hang on, and it's third down. The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike 51. Let him know. 51's the Mike. Hey, alert. You're not ready.
Middle.
Check 13. Check safety.
Right.
He's cracked.
Right.
Again, it's Rosen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Elliott puts this one through. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 36-yard attempt.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Hey, dude.
Now Rosen on first down. And he finds Parker here, complete. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
61, match box, 1 time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And it's caught by Parker. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
50 seconds to mine. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Hey, Charlie.
50 seconds, run.
I'm on.
SOS.
Monday.
SOS.
Monday. What do you got?
Rosen on 1st and 10. It's complete. Stills. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
57 Mike 57. Come on.
Bravo.
Mike 57.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper.
Rosen's pass complete to Amari Cooper. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Saints' 33-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
57's the Mike. Watch 57.
Monday.
Come, baby. Woo! 57's the Mike.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
There he goes inside the 30. Past the 20. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Elliott good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Saints 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Scott. He's got the first down and more past midfield. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 44 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead down to 3 at 13-10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They'll try and run with their fullback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. And now a carry here for the fullback. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Alert! 51 to Mike, boy, 51. Hey, Alpha. 51 Mike. Mike, 51.
They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. And that is incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Kamara trying to right side. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal.
Check 50, check 50. Slam, slam.
Now a give right side. It's Scott, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
Ready. Single. Check. 60 outlaw. Hey. 54. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up. Watch this.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
Let's think about this stage of the second half. You're taking the chip shot field goal, right?
Boy, I'd love to be on the headset right now between head coach and play caller because you know it's a heavy conversation right here because I'm guaranteed the play caller is like, Coach, I've got this. I've got to play for this one. But the smart play, kick the field goal, take the chip shot, 3 points.
Yeah, tie the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd down now, McKinley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Check 43. Check 26, check 26.
Now Rosen looking to throw. He may try and run for this. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Scott. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
52, right 52. 52's the mic, boys, 52. Oh, you got deep? 52's the mic right here.
Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th. And he finds Cook. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Well, they did the part they had to do. Quick throw got the first down.
But that doesn't allow them to relax. They still have plenty of work to do.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Check three. Go. Motion.
Now Bridgewater. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Big stop.
On 1st down, Drake. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
I think we saw the strategy there, how they moved it to the left hash so they could line things up for them to kick the field goal.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And it'll be a good time in South Beach tonight. The Dolphins have won the game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Miami, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL.
I don't wanna be on the ground when the time so long getting back to my right mind.